Hello, everybody, and welcome to Empowerful You. I was out today running some errands, and I was at my favorite place. I was at Walmart, and there were some ladies outside selling some shirts for a charity. And this is one of the shirts that I got. And I don't know if you can see the back of it. I'm going to risk this. I'm not going to risk it. But on the back of this shirt, the shirt says to stay salty. Stay salty. And that struck me. To stay salty. To stay effective. To do something. To help somebody. To go outside of yourself, reach out and help somebody. Make other people's lives better. Make the community around you better. Make your home life better. Make everything outside of you better. However, I have a question for you. How salty are you? Just how salty are you? Now, if you guys are thinking that I'm getting ready to talk about that type of salty, that type of street salty, or whatever it is that, people talk about, if that's what you're thinking that I'm getting ready to talk about, wrong vid. Wrong vid, wrong person, wrong message. Because that type of salty goes along with drama. And Falami don't do drama. Okay? But my question to you, how salty are you? What are you doing? What are you doing with your life? Are you working towards a goal? Are you helping someone else work towards a goal? Are you trying to better yourself? What are you doing? How salty are you? What type of effectiveness do you have on other people, on people around you? How effective are you on people around you? Do people come to you for advice? Do people come to you and they bare their souls, knowing that whatever they tell you is not going to get out and not going to be spread to the four winds before they can even get out of your presence? How salty are you? Are you harboring that ancient wisdom on the inside of you that you won't even use? Are you scared to use it? Are you afraid of it? Are you afraid of that wisdom, that knowledge, that creativity that you have on the inside of you? Are you afraid of it? I know what it is. You're telling me, well, Falami, every time I reach out to try to help somebody, I get hurt in the end. I know. I get used. I know. I get talked about. I get mistreated. I get misunderstood. I know. But that goes along with the saltiness. The more you go through, the more potent your salt. If you ain't been through nothing and not going through anything, you're like that salt that's going to be thrown out and trampled under the feet of men because it has no effectiveness. It's bland. It has no taste. So how can you season something that's already untasteless? And salt is supposed to add and enhance the taste of the food that you're about to consume. So what are you enhancing around you? Are you enhancing anything? Are you growing anything? Are you moving forward? Or are you just standing still? You're standing still, whining, moping, aching about what you're going through, what you have been through. You're still in your past. You're still in that blame mode. You're still in that pity party of which everybody else has left. Everybody else has gotten their records and gone. They ate, they came, they left, and they're gone. They came, they ate your food at your pity party, got full of it, and they left. Just how much do you think people are going to take off of you? They give you suggestions. Some have even given you solutions. The scripture even talks about people that reject wise counsel. Somewhere along the line, we have to make that decision of what is important to us. What is important? What's important to you? Help me. What's important to you? Do you know? What do you want out of life? What do you want? Do you have a game plan? Do you have anything planned for your life? Anything? Or are you just that person who goes around zapping everybody else's salt? You're a salt zapper. You're not helping to increase somebody's salt. You're definitely not helping to increase your own. We need more enhancement. We need to be enhancing each other. We need to be lifting each other, pushing each other forward to meet our goals. A load is easier to carry when it's two people. Even the scripture tells you that. The scripture says that we are to shoulder each other's burdens. You know that? And I had a friend of mine explain to me why that was written the way it was. He told me the background of a burden. During scriptural days, there were a lot of people most of the people during that time were nomadic. Okay. And they carried everything they had on their back. Literally everything that person owned was carried on their back. And after a while, the person got tired, broken down, weary. That weight got heavy. So what did we do? Someone comes in to help shoulder, because it was worn on the shoulders, to help shoulder that burden. Our shoulders get weak. Our shoulders get weak. They start to ache. They get sore because we're carrying so much weight. We're carrying our own weight. We're carrying our children's weight. We're carrying our family members' weight. We're carrying our co-workers' weight. We're carrying our church members' weight. Somewhere along the line, some people in your life need to get grown and carry their own weight. Do you remember that? Do you remember that teaching? Some people need to carry their own weight. Because when people don't carry their own weight, guess what they're doing? They're zapping your salt. There's a salt zapper. The very time you go and you replenish yourself in order to be a help to someone else, You have this dead weight laying around with their hand out, thinking that you are supposed to solve all their problems. That's not your job. That is not your job. You have enough on your own plate without having stuff off other people's plate on yours. I remember my grandmother always told me, don't put any more on your plate than you can eat. She said, I don't care how much you eat. It's just a matter of what you put on your plate is what you're going to eat. So you might want to be careful. Put a spoon of this, a spoon of that, and a spoon of that. And when all of that gets gone, you get another spoon of this, a spoon of that, and a spoon of that. Why can't we be like that in our lives? We fixed our plate. We have a spoon of this, a spoon of that, and a spoon of that. That's called bills, house note, job, we got a spoon of this, a spoon. And then the next thing we know, other people spooning onto the plate too. Can you eat all that? Can you eat all that? And if you do, you know what it's going to do? It's going to make you fat. Sure, the scripture talks about being fat. But that means fat in prosperity. That the liberal soul shall be made fat. You know, that you're a giver. And when you give, it's given back to you. The liberal soul shall be made fat. We're talking about another type of fat now. We're talking about a fat from other people's stuff. Now you walking around, they walking around fine. They're thin, fine, and walking around and doing whatever they do. And you're sitting in the dark, fat, and can't move. How salty are you? How salty are you? Come on, y'all. Come on. I need some more salty people. As a salty person, you can affect so many things, so many people. Because when you're salty, that means that you're pushing something. You're enhancing something. You're creating something. You're taking your little and making it much. Just by being salty. And by being salty, I remember that. But we just talked about being fat. Salt attracts what? Water. Scientifically. But spiritually, salt attracts resources. If someone sees that you're doing something, that you're salty, that you're doing something or trying to do something, the universe is going to send you help. It will send you resources. Things will start coming about and you have no idea where they've come from. It's because you're following your path. You're following your path. You're doing what you've been instructed to do. You're in your season and you're doing what you know to do. That's being salty. Salty is so simple. You've been given a gift, use it. Use it effectively. Don't sit around and whine about what you don't have and what somebody else has. Because a gift that somebody else has, you may not want it. You may not want to know the maintenance that person has to go through in order to even keep that gift? Can you live the life that they live? Can you go through what they have gone through in order to be them? I ask people all the time. I said, don't you want to be me for an hour? I always get no. I don't want to be you for 10 minutes. You know? Salty. Let's be salty. Let's make up our minds today to be salty. Let's do something. Let's be productive with our lives. You know, I really believe that if we're productive, then the universe will send us help. But when you sit there and you're not moving, who's going to help you? If you're sitting there and you're not moving and you're not doing anything, guess what you're considered? You're considered to be a beggar. That you're sitting back begging. You're sitting back waiting on a handout. You're not trying to do anything. You're sitting back waiting on somebody to help you. I know people like that. They're always on the side of, I need help. I need you to do this for me. I need this. I need. Okay, that's another what? Salt zapper. When are you going to stop people from zapping your salt? Dipping into your salt? Lapping your salt? When are you going to stop that? And allow people to be salty on their own. Everybody has their own level of saltiness. Maybe some are not as salty as others. There are a lot of people that's saltier than me, and there are others who are not as salty as me. But I have to work with what I have been given. I can't worry about Sally. I can't worry about Jane. I can't worry about Nene, baby. I can't worry about any of those folks. The only thing I can do is what I can do and what I have been given to do. My plate is full a lot of times. Sometimes I just want to break the plate and throw it off the table. Because there's a lot of that I just do not want to deal with certain things. There's certain things I don't want to deal with. There's certain people I don't want to deal with. However, they're on my path. Yeah, sometimes I want to play Pac-Man with some folks and just pop them all and knock them off the path, make my path a little easier. However, we can't do that. We have to follow what we have been given, but that's a bad temptation right there. Knocking people off, knocking them off your path. Don't go doing that. Do not, and don't say I told you to do it either. Don't do that. Okay? But think about your salt. Think about how salty you are. How precious is your salt? Have you ever thought about that? Have you ever thought about why salt comes in a box? Have you ever thought about that? Salt comes in a box to protect it from the elements, to protect it from humidity, to protect it from water. Because if you mix salt and water together, what do you get? Salt water. The salt dissolves in the water. Yeah. Salt is just that fragile. When you sprinkle it on your food, if it's hot, you don't even see it anymore. It has now become a part of the food, just like it's become a part of the water. You can taste it. You know it's there, but it's not automatically visible. And sometimes we have to protect our salt just like that box protects the salt that we get out of the store. We have to be protective of what God has given us. We have to protect our salt. Some people are not worthy of your salt. Let them stay bland. Let them stay the way they are. Everybody is not worthy of your salt. Do you know that? Your salt is precious. Just like it says in the scripture. When your salt loses its flavor. It even asks, can it be regained again? Can you get it back? Naturally, no. So what do they do with it? They chuck it out because it's worthless. But not for you. You can get your flavor back, but you're going to have to be careful with how you ration out your salt. And I did say ration out your salt. Your salt isn't for everybody. Do you know that? Do you know your salt is not for everybody? Everybody's salt is not for everybody. You know. Some people's salt is for some people, other people's salt is for others. My salt may be too strong for you. Might need to water it down a little bit. Others may need enhancement, may need some salt added to their salt. That's what we do. That's what we do. As salty beings, that's what we do. We are helpers to one another. Sometimes I need a little help with my salt. Even though majority of the time people are coming to me for mine. And sometimes I have to tell people, no, I'm sorry, no. Have you gotten there yet? Have you gotten to that place of rationing out your salt? Or are you always just pouring out? Pouring out, pouring out, pouring out, and nobody's pouring in. You don't take the time to recharge and make more salt. When do you come to that place of, now that I have realized the thing that I have is precious, and I may not have it all the time, what do I do now? Do I treat it as being precious, or do I keep divvying it out unconsciously? How salty are you? That needs to be a question you need to ask yourself. You need to ponder on your saltiness. How effective are you? Are you a mover and a shaker? Are you? When you walk into a room, does the atmosphere change? Does it? When you walk into a room, does everybody take notice? Do you provoke change everywhere you go? Can you walk into a stale, dull room, and when you walk in, the whole environment of the room changes? How salty are you? invoke change. That's our job. We are to invoke change, because if you're not invoking change, or the atmosphere doesn't change when you walk into a room, you need to check your salt level. Your salt level is low. If you don't affect the hearts and minds of people around you, you need to check your salt level. Your salt level might be low. See what I'm saying? And a lot of times we need to step back and replenish our salt. Going, giving. It depletes your salt level. Did you know that? When you get tired and weary, because salt is a natural conductor. But then when you get tired, you get weary, and you get grumpy, and you're hungry, and there's no peace nowhere. Now it's time to go back into your closet, get by yourself, get your mind right, and replenish your salt. The scripture tells us that we are the first partakers of our fruit. So why can't you be the first partaker of your own salt? How salty are you? That needs to be a question a lot of us ask ourselves. How salty are you? And then if you don't know, then you might need to go into a mode of trying to figure out what is it that you can do that will affect change around you. Okay? Invoke change. Make a difference in the lives of those around you. Be used. That's what you're for. Not in a bad way. Be used. Allow yourself to be used. Allow yourself to make a difference. Allow yourself to be a difference. And not go along with the status quo. Be a difference. And you will see your life change and the life change of everybody that you come in contact with. Be the salt. Be the salt that affects change in the lives of those around you. Okay? Have a good one. Peace.